there is no such thing as good or bad. We only have events and circumstances. What happens to you in life does not matter, but what you do about it, it is what is more important. Whatsoever that happened to you in life, right, you might not be able to completely change it, but you can change yourself. If you look at what we call emotions, it's something that can cloud your reason. Something that can, just like you see clouds is formed before the rainfall, the sky is not usually clear. If it happens that you are the type that takes emotions or always allow emotions to overrule you, then you are always vulnerable and open for destruction. Whatever will happen, whether you like it or not. In most cases, you can't stop things from happening, but you can stop how you react to it. And how you react to it is what actually matters, is what actually counts. Like I said, you can't change the fuel price, but you can change your amount of income. Good day to you, listener. My name is A. Kabir. I'm gonna blow your mind today once again with this interesting topic, as there is no such thing as good or bad. We only have events and circumstances. So what you do out of it is what matters. So what does this mean? If you want to enjoy this session, just sit back, relax, and I'm going to explain to you why what happens to you in life does not matter, but what you do about it, it is what is more important, and it's of course what matters. I don't know if you get. So if you are joining me for the first time, my name is A. Kabir, and this is our live video presentation session on Facebook. And today is the 17th. Just like for some of you that have watched few of the sessions past, we said we're going to be doing this for 1,000 days. We've taken a vow that, look, whether we like it or not, we're going to continuously appearing here for the next 1,000 days. So today is the 17th, and we're going to talk about what happened to you and what to do about it. You see, in life, you can't, I don't know how many times I should repeat that, but you can't stop some certain things from happening. It is not within your power. For example, if you are living in my country, Nigeria, it is not within your power to decide the fuel price. It is not within your power to decide how much food items are being sold in the marketplace. Right? It is not within your power to influence somebody to do what you want. In most cases, especially like to love you or to do some certain things to some certain degree, except if you understand some certain things, which we are going to be explaining to you on or before the end of this video. So like I promised, it's going to be an interesting session, just like we've always done. Let's try to break down what this means. Like I said earlier, there are a lot of things in life that you cannot have a say, or you cannot decide how it goes. But the only thing you can decide is how you react to it. I should remind you that whatsoever that happened to you in life, right, you might not be able to completely change it, but you can change yourself. One of the examples, because I love making myself as an example, especially because I've promised that most of the things I'm going to be sharing with you on this session is my life as I go, and the things I learn, and how those things are likely going to help you to also use them and apply them. For most people, what I've noticed is that we have educated illiterates, so many educated illiterates in the world, especially from this part of continent, which is Africa. What I mean by educated illiterate is that people have so much knowledge, but they don't know what to do with it. So when I noticed this, I was a lecturer in the university. So when I began to notice this, I said, okay, perhaps what they have taught me all these years I've spent in the university, I think about 8 years, studying one course. What they have taught me, if I don't know how to apply it to get the results, so let me start a journey of self-education where I can learn something and then be able to apply it. Because for most of the things we've been taught throughout the schools, we can't really see where we can apply those things immediately. or let me even say, even if not immediately, effectively to be able to produce result. And that's the essence of knowledge. So I want to use myself as a starting example for this. While I was in the lecturing world, I decided that, look, this, since most of the knowledge I have, I cannot use it, so let me digress into learning something else that I can apply. And guess what? Just within 1-2 years, my life started to change, and I noticed that fast. So, and if I can spend 8 years, I know some of you will say this because of the education you have, but if I would have remained like that without trying to learn something else I could implement, then there's every possibility that I have not shifted my gears, and I will still probably be where I was, or even worse, especially because of the inflation. Life is changing and so many things. So in essence, what I'm saying is, you might not be able to stop things from happening. I couldn't just change my salary, right? At that point, I couldn't change my salary. I couldn't change whatever instruction that they have for me for the job. I'm restricted to so many things I just have to take. I can't decide for myself. But in my deeper mind, I wanted to go into a world where I could decide, at least have some confidence, have some level of control over my life, right? So once I detected that, I began to work towards it. And like I always tell people, one of the best things I've found so far is what we call self-learning. I always don't forget to tell people about building blocks of success, and most of it I've found so far, I think about 4. Number 1 is self-learning. Number 2 is self-reliance. Number 3 is self-discipline. And number 4 is what is that? All of them are self. I can't remember, but there are 4. So if you want to go far in life, most of these that I mentioned, you have to use them as your words, as your building blocks. So once I found that, I began to develop myself. What am I saying in essence? A lot of things are happening to you right now if you are listening to me. You might be facing so many challenges and so much more that you can't take at the moment. But relax a little bit and think about it for a minute. If that particular thing that is happening to you, you can't control it. Like I like mentioning the example of fuel price in my country. It's just going higher and higher. Prices of food items and all of that is just beyond imagination. How the price change even from hours to hours. So this is not what you want to control, because you cannot. This is what is happening to you. This is your situation. This is the event. This is the circumstances you can't control. Do you understand? But now, what are you doing about it? What I believe you can control is you can control your income. I don't know if you get. You can control how much money you make. I know some of the religious people now will not understand this. You can control how much income you get. Yes. So, but until you know how, that's why I say self-learning is one of the building blocks of success. Until you know how to do that, then a question mark. So today I want to basically teach you some of the ways some people use emotions, either negatively as a circumstances and either positively also. It depends on what you see. It depends on what happened and what you do about it. Like generally, if you look at what we call emotions, it's something that can cloud your reason. Something that can, just like you see clouds is formed before the rainfall. The sky is not usually clear. Oh, AAKB, thank you sir for coming. Mr. Idris, thank you for joining our sessions like you always do, and thank you so much for the support. So if the cloud is formed, you found out that the sky is no longer clear. So each time you allow emotion to cloud your head or to rule over you, that's what happens. So the ability to be able to see clearly through situations is taken away from you. You have lesser control now. right? Whatever you are going to be deciding at that moment, whatever you are going to be doing at that moment, might not be from your logic, might not be from your reasoning, because your reasoning session has been clouded. You really cannot see. And believe you me, even the eyes you have, if you cannot use it to see, then there is limitations to how far you can walk. You should ask yourself, why is the blind not just walking around the way we do? Because we have eyes. So for many of us, there's a way these emotions affect our mindset. There's a way these emotions, either in terms of, I'm going to analyze in so many scenarios so that you understand, but it doesn't stop the fact that emotions will happen to you. Like I'm making this example in my country, Nigeria, we have issue of fuel price jumping, skyrocketing and all of that. Now this will touch your emotions. It's raining, by the way, it's raining here where I am, and I'm feeling the weather. I don't know about you, where you are. I'm in Abuja, Nigeria precisely. So I love rain. So okay, so what I mean in essence is that situation of fuel price is enough to give you a negative vibe. And apart from this, I'm using this as an example because it's a general situation. So you probably have some more personal issues that you are going through right now, and now I'm telling you that if you are listening to me if you are under my voice right now, you should know that that thing that is happening to you, yes, it has happened and you probably can't stop it, but how you react to it matters a lot. I'm going to prove some point to you. Now, anytime you allow emotions to raise, either positive or negative, then there's every possibility that you are in for a potential destruction. Yes, let me try to explain. Let me try to break it down. Oh, same here in Minna. Rain is falling there in Minna. That's Niger State, the capital city of Niger State. Thank you so much for that information. I love rain so much. So now, if it happens that you are the type that takes emotions or always allow emotions to overrule you, then you are always vulnerable and open for destruction. Whatever will happen, whether you like it or not. In most cases, you can't stop things from happening, but you can stop how you react to it. And how you react to it is what actually matters, is what actually counts. Like I said, you can't change the fuel price, but you can change your amount of income. Now, if you are not, if your mindset have not gotten to this level, you probably wouldn't understand what I mean by you can change your income. And I've given you some success, what do we call it? Success building blocks. When I made the decision that I want to leave the lecturing world, I had to now be intentional. Okay, if I'm leaving this place, what next? What am I supposed to be doing next after leaving here? Or what am I supposed to engage myself or involve myself into before leaving here? I keep telling people that you are an architect of your destiny. You are an architect of your future. For whatever decision you are having right now or you are making right now, those choices you are making right now, those habits, those daily things you do, sum up to become you that you are today. You, the way you are looking at me today. Look at your entire life. You found out that 100% of what has happened to you or who you are today was as a result of the things you decided to do then, or things that you didn't do that probably you are supposed to do, or things that you were doing that probably you were not supposed to do. And I keep telling people that if you decide that you want a particular level of success, all it takes you is to get your hand on somebody who have details on how that success works or how the person achieve it. That's the first step. That's why learning is just one of the most powerful things I've ever came across in my life. Not just learning, but learning and applying. You learn, you do. You learn, you do. That thing is so powerful, man. You might need to do something like that for your life. But for most of us, we even know what to do. Like my country, Nigeria now, we know what to do. We have the resources. We have people with brain. but we are not ready. We don't want to implement. That's why we are here. We can turn this country around if we decide to change some of our ways. Just in few months, it will surprise you what we can do or what we are capable of doing. We are not ready. Everybody is pointing fingers. Now, in your life, are you also pointing fingers? That's what some of us are doing. You are pointing fingers. It's my uncle, it's my mother, it's my father, it's my wife, it's my husband. Stop it. Point. The first finger should be pointing to yourself. What are you supposed to be doing that you are not doing in the first place? Do you know that even in relationship, maybe you didn't do your assignment well, you didn't make your choices right? Okay? For me, I believe that whatsoever go wrong, the starting point has to be from you. It has to be from you. It started from you. You might not know. You keep pointing finger to others. Okay, look at Nigeria for example now. It is us, the followers, that elected the leaders. Is it selected or elected? But we turn around to say it is leaders that is the problem. Think about this. Wisdom no go kill me like this. See, I understand some certain things. I don't want to draw myself away from the topic so much, but then I think I'm doing justice to it. See, I said there's no such thing as good or bad. We only have events, circumstances, and what determines whatever that happened to you, either good or bad, it depends on what you make out of your circumstances or out of the event that is happening around you. I don't know if you get. You can't change certain things, but you can change you. You can change you. You can change your environment. You can change whosoever that is not good to you. You can change so many things to make your life better. If you are not learned before, you can learn. That's the good news. You can shift. You can always shift your gears, and it will work. Most of us are not even ready to shift. Most of us don't even know where our gear is. So how do you now shift it? Something you don't even know the location. So when it comes to emotions, for so many of us, I've seen people that have lost so much that they are supposed to be gaining in life because of their emotions, because they allow their emotions to cloud their reasoning faculty, and therefore they can't see. See, the most dangerous of emotions is anger. That stuff is doing damage to a lot of people. It has kept you below your potential, because what happens is, just like I said, is like a cloud that you can't longer see. You can't decide things that will help you. In most cases, once you have beclouded your head, your reasoning faculty, which what anger is doing, it tends to reduce the level of your thinking capacity, and therefore you can't see through situations. You are being judgmental. How am I supposed to call it? I'm biased, because you can't see. You just can't see. Analyze your situation. Like what I tell people, all of us are going through a lot right now. But see, as far as I'm concerned, do you know that I've stopped the game of blaming anybody? I don't blame our leaders anymore. I blame the followers for choosing. I blame us, the followers, for choosing the leaders. And we are still choosing. I don't blame any bad person that happened to me. I blame myself for not trying to understand that bad person enough to stay away from them. Right? I don't blame my poverty situation anymore. I blame myself for not being learned enough to understand how to make wealth. I believe whatever principles that the rich are using, you too can use it. Nobody stop you from using it. And you see this part of emotion we are discussing today, looking at circumstances and events as what it is, not just good and bad. Do you see? Let me tell you, some of you now, you are looking at money as a bad thing. That money, once you see rich people, you think they are evil. And for most people that are poor, that's what they use to justify their poverty, to make them feel comfortable that that's why I'm poor, because I am not evil. But that's not true. Yes, you might have one or two people, which is normal with life. Just like I said, money is not the bad thing. It is what you do with it. When money gets to you, what did you do with it? or how, when you want to get it, how did you want to get it? So there, that's the bad, not the money. Money is just a tool, by the way. It's not. You are the human being to use it. You are in charge of it. Just like your emotion, you are in charge of your emotions, and you are the one to use it. Either you want to use it in the form of anger. Some people say, I'm naturally angry. I'm naturally an angry person. How? You just didn't master how to be in control of your anger. You are the one that have your head. You are the one that have your senses. You are in charge of your anger. You are supposed to be able to control it, not it controlling you. And guess what happens? Once you allow your emotion to be controlling you, then every other person will can control you. Did I say that well? Every other person will be able to control you if you can't control yourself. It's as simple as that. That's why we see, okay, let me talk about love and affection. Love and affection. Is that how I'm supposed to call it? Love and affection. Do you see that? If you use it positively, you're going to have good results. If you use it negatively, you're going to have bad results. There's no such thing as either good or bad. It is what you do with it. Now, some people use this against you and you don't know. When you tend to be so emotional and angry, people will now take the best out of you. People will make you do things that literally you'll be like a servant to others. You are like a servant when you can't control your anger. People use you when they want to use you, and dump you is so painful when they want to dump you. Because literally, like I said, you can't be in charge of yourself if you're an angry person. And now let me tell you the bad side of it. If it happens that you are the type that, okay, you are not even an angry person, but you are always in love, and that's empathy part of you, that, you know, you are so pity about others, you want others to first of all have their way, and you are so vulnerable. Do you know that people also use this against you? You will not understand. See, whatever you want to do with emotions, like I said earlier, either positive or negative, if you can't be in charge, then you are in trouble. It is when I begin to learn these life principles that I began to understand some certain things. And most of these things, the rich don't take it for granted. In most cases, what you even find is that the successful people want you to be angry. Like they can push you to be angry so that they can decide your future. Wisdom. Look at your leaders. Oh my God. Do you know that even when, like in my country, when we are doing protests, leaders still use that protest that we are doing against them, against us. Anger. You can't control your emotions. You are not in charge of your life. I keep using these big examples, but look your life, the people you are relating with right now. By the way, do you know that people, if you really want wealth in this life, people, the wealth is in people. And as far as you can control your emotions, that's how best you can get out of it. Don't allow the fact that you love people, let them play you down. Because, and you know, amazingly again, I've seen people who love have taken to greater places. I don't know, let me explain this. Because of the fact that they love a particular person, either their mother, their father, their spouse, they tend to put all of that feeling, emotion and passion into doing something that make them succeed beyond recognition. If you are ever going to use emotions, please use it positively. And that's why, do you know, there's a reason why I'm relating this emotion stuff to the topic of today. That we said there's nothing like good or bad. We only have events and circumstances. That's what is happening. And those events and circumstances, you can't stop it. Like some days back, I heard about how the flood is actually affecting the Borno people. I don't know if you get. You can't stop it. It's nature, it's events and circumstances happening to them. But after it has happened to them, what they decide to do out of it, some people feel bitter and give up. Some people feel they can't proceed from here. Some people feel, and you know, this is now the beginning of some people, because as soon as they leave that environment, they'll probably try to change to another location. That is where their best will come out. But for people that think that this is the end of it, that is actually the end of it. That's why I tell people that you are the designer of your life. You're the architect of your life. You are in charge of your life. Now, it's either you want to be in charge negatively or you want to be in charge positively. How do you get? So, I don't know how many minutes we've taken, but I hope you learned today how to convert your emotions. It's not only emotion. Do you know, when I look at people these days, the thing is, the world is actually cruel, like it's bad. People living in it. I want to tell you that from my experience and what I've seen so far, if you gather 10 people, then you will be struggling to get sincere 3 persons out of 10 to tell you that the entire world is not actually a safe place to relax. So what is this telling you? You are supposed to have some level of development. You are supposed to have some level of intellectual capacity. You are supposed to be able to have some level of control. You are supposed to be able to have some level of thinking beyond the next person. Because like what is happening, if you look at our leaders controlling us, they are just few percent of people, just small people. These people, they are not prophets. They didn't come from God. Like God didn't send them down here. They are just people like me and you. Just the way I'm thinking, I have brain, they have brain, I have idea, I have. The difference between you and them probably is that they develop themselves into something that you don't know. You are lagging behind. You become masses because that's where you belong all these years. But challenge yourself today that look, I want to change from masses to being a leader. Then the first question is, where should I start from? Who is a leader and how is he doing it? When a leader speaks, you see that it's different from you. When a financial capable person, a successful person speaks, you see that it's different from you. And that difference is they know something you don't know, that they are probably using against you. But it's nature. I've said this before. It's circumstances and events happening in nature. You can't stop it. You just need to choose where you want to belong. I know you still don't understand. Do you want to ask questions? To the comment section. Maybe in my next video I will respond to it. And here I'm saying bye bye. See you tomorrow.